Good morning, students.
Good morning, ma'am.
Good morning,
Good
ma'am.
morning, ma'am.
Good morning, ma'am.
So hope you are doing well. So this semester I am going to handle embedded system and IoT. Once again, embedded systems and IoT theory and lab. Okay. So this course will give you a deep understanding of design, development, and architecture of wired and wireless products based on embedded system and IoT. So in earlier we have only embedded systems. This time we have included IoT concepts in this syllabus as well as in the laboratory. Okay. So this syllabus completely focuses on your ARM Cortex M4 processor. So it is a 32-bit RISC processor. So it is the latest one, and we are focusing on architecture, programming model, and your registers, addressing mode, everything based on entire concepts are based on ARM Cortex M3 or M4 processor. Okay. So kindly look into the course description. So also you will learn how to build solution to real world problems with the help of embedded systems and IoT. Am I audible?
Yes,
Yes,
ma'am.
Yes,
ma'am.
ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
So the prerequisites for this subject, some of the basics of digital electronics, computer architecture and organization, microcontroller, that is 8051 based microcontroller systems, and basic programming language. So in this subject, we are going to focus on both assembly language program and embedded C, and we will be using same K Microvision IDE, but this is a different version. In earlier, we had 8051 IDE. So this semester we are going to use ARM Cortex K IDE version. Okay, so that is the latest IDE version. So it will provide ARM Cortex M4 architecture features. Okay, so slightly we are switching from 8-bit to 32-bit. So kindly you have to explore all the programming concepts in terms of 32-bit, not in 8-bit. Okay. So this course will provide you with an introduction to embedded system, Cortex M4 processor architecture in details. So since ARM has become a de facto standard used across almost all the embedded systems, okay. So most of the real-time systems are completely based on ARM Cortex M4 architecture. So I am going to use ARM Cortex M4 architecture to explain basic computing concepts important for embedded system. Okay, and also you can understand how to build an embedded programming in both in assembly and embedded C. Okay, and finally cover exceptions, interests, communication protocols, and real-time OS concepts, and some of the basics of IoT. Okay. So this time we have introduced this unit, IoT and its application, in fifth unit. So IoT has brought a significant change in almost every area of modern society. So the objective of IoT is connecting objects to internet. So it is like extension of embedded system. So IoT is nothing but connecting embedded system to internet. So that is called IoT. So IoT is the extension of embedded system. So first 4 unit will cover embedded system concepts along with real-time OS, and fifth unit cover IoT and its applications. Okay. So, do you have any idea about IoT? Students,
Yes, ma'am.
what is the definition of IoT?
Internet of
How it
Internet
is,
of
Things.
Things.
How it is
Internet of
evolved?
Things.
Yeah.
Information is stored in a cloud-based server, and
Okay,
that's
very good.
And ma'am, to be precise, I think it is to connect the devices to make them easier and to apply the devices from a certain area itself, like to
Yes,
have a
very good.
control of certain things.
Yes. Some other answers? So, see, since this course is a programming oriented, okay, so I expect some interaction from your side. Any other answers? So now IoT is everywhere, okay? It provides advanced data collection, connectivity, and analysis of information collected by a device or computer or sensor, any device, okay? So this taking a concept of mission to mission communication. So one mission can interact with the another mission, okay? And without human intervention, we can control the devices remotely or worldwide. So that is the objective of IoT. So this IoT has evolved from the convergence of wireless technologies, microsystems, and internet. So IoT helps us connect devices, control them via internet. Very good. And also collect data regarding device working and provide the data to any device via cloud. Okay. So for the placement perspective, we have included many programming concepts in this syllabus. So how will this course help you means, this course will help you to get introduced to embedded system and various concepts, benefits and attributes. So first unit covers basics of embedded system, okay, and ARM basics, that is the difference between CISC and RISC processor and ARM architecture and its programming model. Okay. So to understand ARM Cortex M4 programming, so the instruction Cortex M4 instruction set, memory mapping, interrupts, exceptions, okay, bitband operations, memory bitband operations have been included in the second unit. Okay. And third unit talks about serial communication because the communication is very important for device to device data transfer and mission to mission communication. So for that case, we have included serial communication and parallel communication protocols along with advanced buses, that is SIA, instruction set architecture, PCI, PCX. Okay. So this unit will cover communication protocols along with advanced bus. So it may be a wired bus or wired bus. Okay. And fourth unit cover RTAS concepts, real-time operating system. For small-scale embedded system or a simple application, so that system does not require any voice. But in case of sophisticated embedded systems, suppose in automobile applications or industry automation, so that applications may require a real-time operating system to handle multiple tasks and to schedule multiple task. For that particular case, it is necessary to have an RTAS. So fourth unit focuses on real-time operating system concept, and fifth unit cover IoT concepts, where you will learn about current components of IoT, some of the basics. Already you might have you may be familiar with these topics. So learn about current components of typical IoT devices and networking and trends for the future. Okay. So regarding the textbook, for first two unit, you can refer this textbook one. Just kindly note it down. So I have uploaded this course plan in your Google Classroom. Just you make a note of it. So first textbook cover your first unit. Okay. For first 2 units, you can refer textbook 1 and reference book 1. So these two you have to refer for first 2 units. Okay. For third unit, you can refer this Raj Kamal for communication protocols. Okay. For fourth unit, RTAS concepts, you have to refer these 2 references. Fifth unit, refer this one. Internet of Things hands-on approach. Okay. For ARM programming, both assembly and embedded, refer this. So I will provide all the textbooks and reference books in the Google Classroom. Okay, kindly download it. Okay, for first 2 unit, you can refer this textbook 1 and reference book 1. Third unit, Raj Kamal, Embedded System Architecture. It's textbook 2. And your fourth unit, reference book 2 and reference book 3. Fifth unit, reference book 4. For programming, refer this reference number 5. Okay, is that clear? Is that clear, students?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
So these are some of the website references. Since the architecture is involved, okay, so you have to refer many data sheets and reference manual. And one of the Swayam course on embedded system design, which will cover all the concepts, embedded system concepts and RTAS concepts. So these videos are openly, there is free source of videos. You can refer this NPTEL course. And these are some of the softwares we are going to use both in theory and lab. That is Scale Microvision 5. So this is the MDK ARM version. Microcontroller Development Kit. Okay. And also Proteus. And this is the one of the Mbed OS simulator. Okay. So we are going to use 3 different software. So regarding the evaluation scheme, it's a conventional pattern. For unit test, we are planning to conduct 2 unit tests, unit 1 and unit 2 test. Okay, that is midsem 1 and midsem 2. So unit test will be evaluated for 50 mark. I am planning to give 5 assignments, so that will be evaluated for 10 marks. So total assessment 25. Okay. So this is the unit test pattern. I will go through it. So any other doubts regarding our course description?
No, ma'am.
No, ma'am.
No.
So this class is just introduction class. Just I will brief about a definition. What is embedded system and what is IoT? How your embedded system is differentiated from the IoT, and what are the terminology you should know before studying this embedded system course. That is RISC versus CISC. What is RISC? What is CISC? And what are the architectures are required to choose your microprocessor or microcontroller? So that can be a one EMN processor or hardware. So I will give some introduction about the basics of embedded systems and terminologies involved in the embedded systems environment. Okay. Can everyone see my slide?
Yes,
Yes, ma'am.
yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
So before we start this course, let us understand some of the definition. Okay. So this slide explains the definition of system and embedded. So the course title is embedded system. So first you have to understand what is the meaning of system and what is the meaning of embedded terminology. Okay. So as per your understanding, what is system? So these two definitions are taken from your textbook Raj Kamal. So as per your understanding, what is system? Can anyone explain that? Am I audible, students?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, okay.
Yes, ma'am.
What is system? Please tell me.
Applying basic principles to a device to fetch desired outcome.
Okay. So applying basic principle to a particular box. It's like a black box. It can accept inputs and also it will generate some outputs. Okay. And it will follow some set of rules. Based on this rules, it will generate the output. Okay. So a system is an arrangement in which all its units assemble and work together according to a plan or set of rule or program. So according to our embedded system, the particular system will follow certain set of rules based on the program written for that particular system. Okay, so that is the definition of system. Okay, so system is a way of working, organizing, or doing one or many tasks according to a fixed plan or a program or set of rules. Okay, so that is the definition. So what is the meaning of embedded? How this term is related to your course? What is the meaning of embedded? Embed means
Interspersed.
huh?
To insert something.
Insert something or integrate something. Technically speaking, we are integrating some of the components. It may be a hardware component or it may be a software component. So basically, embedded system means the combination of software and hardware. We are integrating computer hardware with software. So that is called embedded system. So this is the perfect example of a particular system. It is washing machine. So it is automatic cloth washing machine. So it follows certain set of rules. Okay. So a first rule is wash by spinning. Okay. Wash by spinning the motor according to a programmed period. So that program period is set by your application software. Okay. And rinse in fresh water after draining out the dirty water. Okay. And what is the third step? After draining out the water completely, spin the motor fast for programmed time period. Okay. Once the process is completed, it will show the washover status by blinking display. Okay. Or otherwise, it will generate some alarm. Okay. So these are the rules will be followed by this particular system. Suppose in case of any interruption, okay. So in embedded system case, in case of any interruption, like power failure or some other interruption, so your system will execute only remaining part of the program, not from the beginning. So that is the main functionality of embedded system. Please make a note of it. In case of any interruption such as failure, power failure or system failure, after recovery, it will execute only the remaining part of the program, not from the beginning. Okay. So coming into the definition of embedded system. Okay. So embedded system is one that has computer hardware. Okay. So main heart of the system is the hardware with software embedded in it. Okay. So your embedded system uses microprocessor or microcontroller to do a specific task. Okay. It uses microprocessor or microcontroller to perform specific task. Okay. So in embedded system, the main thing is there is only one application software. Application software. So that is burned into the ROM of your IC. So only two components involved. One is the processor. Based on the application requirement, you have to develop this application software. After the development, that software should be loaded into your hardware. So this system is called embedded system. Okay. So embedded system uses processor or controller. So that processor can be your 80, 85 or 80, 86 or any advanced 86 family. The microcontroller can be your 8051, PIC microcontroller, Motorola microcontroller, or any advanced microcontroller based on the application requirement. Okay. So this processor can be a RISC processor or CISC processor. So RISC is the reduced instruction set processor. CISC is the complicated instruction set processor. Earlier we have studied complicated instruction. So this semester we are going to study about reduced instruction set computer architecture. Is that clear, students?
Yes,
Yes,
ma'am.
ma'am.
So what is inside an embedded system? Please tell me. Let's take this washing machine example. What is inside an embedded system? So this washing machine is the one of the application of your embedded system. Okay. So what are the components inside an embedded system? And what are the components are required to implement a particular application? Let's take this washing machine example. Can anyone explain?
Microprocessor.
Yes, microprocessor. Okay.
A microcontroller which is pre-programmed.
Yes, very good. Any other answers? See, actually, embedded system follows a particular architecture. Okay. So we have three important components. One is hardware. So this is the layers of embedded system. One is the hardware. Next one is the OS. And third one is the application software. Okay. So every embedded system consists of custom built hardware. Okay. Built around the CPU. Okay. Built around the CPU. So this hardware contains memory chip onto which software is loaded. So this element is called processing element. So this processing element can be a microprocessor, microcontroller, digital signal processor, ASIC, PLDs, FPGA, system on chip. Okay, it can be any one of these elements. So these elements are called processing element. So software residing on the memory chip is called firmware. So firmware is something it's different from software. So firmware, it will perform specific operation. Okay. So software residing on this particular memory chip is called firmware. And here look at this diagram. OS runs above the hardware. Okay. And application software runs above the OS. So this structure should be followed in the embedded system. So it's like an architecture, and same architecture is applicable to any computer system. So the only difference is it is not compulsory to have an OS in every embedded system. So this OS is not compulsory. Can you understand? The same layer, the same architecture is applicable to any computer system, but only the difference is it is not compulsory to have an OS in every embedded system. Okay, for small applications such as remote control units, air conditioning unit, toys, etc., there is no need of OS. It doesn't require any OS software, so we can write only specific software to that application. Okay, for complex processing, it is advisable to have an OS. So for such case, you need to integrate this application software. Okay, you have to integrate application software with OS and transfer the entire software into this memory chip. So this software consisting of your application software along with OS, once the integration is done, that should be loaded into your hardware. Okay, so that should be transferred to the memory chip. Once the software is transferred to the memory chip, this software will continue to run for a long time. You don't need to reload the new software, and this will act as system on chip. Is that clear, students? So we have 3 layers. One is the hardware layer, and second layer is the OS layer, and third layer is the application software. And how it is differentiated from computer system means it is not compulsory to have an OS in every application, every embedded system. It is an optional one. So it is depends on the application environment. For small scale embedded systems, don't require operating system, and for sophisticated applications, definitely we are in need of a real-time OS. For that case, we need to integrate application software with OS. After integration, you have to dump the code into the processing unit. So once the code is burnt into the processing unit, your element can act as system on chip. So this is the complete process of your embedded system. Is that clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you have any doubts regarding this slide?
No, ma'am.
Okay. So I would like to ask some questions regarding this, some of the basics, okay? What is the significance of embedded systems? But the embedded system existing earlier, what is the difference between embedded system and IoT? So your first question is, what is the significance of embedded system? Please tell me. So I want everyone to interact, okay?
It makes the job easier because they're integrating a lot of activities in a single machine. So
Louder, Bharati. Tell me.
it makes the job easier because we're integrating a lot of tasks.
Okay. So it is a valid point. Okay. Any other answers?
It is used to design an application for a particular purpose.
Okay, very good. Any other answers? How it is differentiated from the normal, that is conventional microprocessor based system and microcontroller based system? Can you understand my question?
Yes, ma'am.
How it is differentiated from a conventional microcontroller system and microprocessor based, designed to do a dedicated job repeatedly. Very good. So this repeatedly is very important term in your embedded system. Okay. So the main significance is this main that is one of the important characteristics of embedded system. It gives the output within the time limit. So that is the importance of embedded system. And second thing is, please note it down, the compact size. The size is very important for any real-time applications. So let's think of your mobile phones. Okay, the size is very important. So it will provide compact size, and at the same time, it is cost effective also. Okay, low cost and simple design aspects made embedded system very popular. Got it? Okay.
What's the first significance, ma'am?
Yes, and louder, ma. Once again. Once again. Yes.
What's the first significance, ma'am?
Hmm?
First significance of embedded system.
Like, your voice is not audible,
Then
not
she's
clear.
asking what is the first significance you said.
Okay, okay. Compact size, low cost, simple design aspects. Because they are found everywhere, okay? From kitchenware to spacecrafts. Okay, daily several devices, real life devices we are using every day, like microwave oven, calculator, TV remote, home security, traffic light control. So see, they found everywhere from kitchenware to spacecraft. Okay. So the significance is due to their compact size, low cost, simple design aspects made embedded system very popular. So were the embedded system existing earlier? Yes or no? Am I audible now? Okay. 20 years back, 30 years back, were embedded system existing?
Yes, ma'am.
Why that time it is not popular?
The other technologies were not invented and they were not popular. So this is,
What about that other technology means?
Ma'am, their sizes were huge.
Yes, that is the exact answer. Okay. So, but they were not so popular because in those days, most of the embedded systems were designed around a microprocessor. Okay. So, as we know, microprocessor don't have memory, ports, etc. So, everything must be connected externally by using peripherals like 8255, 8257, and 8259, etc. Okay. So the embedded system designed using microprocessor was not only a complicated in design, but also large in size. So that is the reason why the embedded system is not popular in the olden days, that is past 20 years back or 30 years back. Okay. So for designing an embedded, efficient embedded system, microcontroller is necessary because microcontroller, it will integrate all the components internally. Okay. But in case of microprocessor, we need to connect external components. So that is the reason. Okay. Is that clear, students?
yes, ma'am.
Okay. So third question, what is the difference between embedded systems and IoT?
Embedded systems and IoT, both of them use computer hardware and software plus memory.
Okay.
But IoT also uses the networking stuff, ma'am.
Yeah, IoT will actually we can directly connect the hardware to the internet. Okay. So
Yes, ma'am.
whatever the device, sensor or any simple device, we can connect the device directly to the internet, and also we can visualize the data happening remotely. Okay. So IoT is basically connecting embedded system to the internet. So embedded system is like a standalone hardware. So it will read or it will sense the environmental parameter. Using IoT, we can upload the data to the cloud where the user can track the data in the cloud server. Okay, so that is the importance of IoT. Okay, so these are some of the applications. You are aware of all the applications. Just you can go through this. So these are the applications of embedded system. So as I said earlier, so embedded system is like a microcomputer board. It can be used in general purpose application or specific application. Okay, so we can connect sensor to this particular board to read environmental parameters, and also we can control the environment using actuators, and we can perform real-time operation, and it will be programmed, it will perform some specific operation. So this microcomputer board can be used in general computers and also specific application oriented concepts. Okay. So my question is, what is the difference between general computer system and embedded system? So what are the components available in computer system and what are the components available in embedded system? What are the main components? What are the main components of computer system?
CPU,
What are the components are required?
CPU, hardware.
CPU, okay. CPU consists of microprocessor, okay, and memory, okay. So the memory can be a primary memory or secondary memory, okay. And third is the I/O units. Fourth is the input unit. Fifth is the output unit. Sixth is the networking unit, and other important software application is operating system. Okay, so it is a general purpose user and application software which is located in your secondary memory. So these are the components of computer system. Okay, so what are the main components of embedded system? What are the components are required?
Microcontroller.
Huh?
Microcontroller.
Microcontroller. Okay.
Sensors.
So three components mainly involved. One is the hardware, and second one is the application software. Third one is the real-time OS. Please note it down. So embedded system require three important components: hardware, application software, and real-time OS. Okay. So hardware, actually it embeds hardware similar to your computer systems. So it embeds hardware similar to computer system, as its software usually embeds in a ROM or flash memory. Okay. An embedded system doesn't need a secondary hard disk like computer. Secondary hard disk and CD memory as in computer system. Okay. So application software. So it embeds main application software. This software may concurrently perform series of tasks or multiple tasks. And multiple process. Okay. And third component is the real-time operating system. So this real-time operating system that supervises the application software. Okay, it will supervise the application software running on the hardware. So this, after the development, this application software is located in hardware. So what it will do is, it will supervise the application software running on hardware and provides a mechanism to let the process run a process as per scheduling. Okay, it will schedule the process. So the simple definition for RTOS is, it defines the way the system works. Okay, it will define the way the system works and set the rules during the execution of application software. And small scale embedded system may not need an RTOS. Okay. So these are the important components of embedded system. So next class we will see about this embedded system block diagram and hardware environment and classification of embedded system. Okay. So any doubts?
No, ma'am.
Answer your attendance. Roll number 1,
1 present, ma'am.
2,
Number 2 present, ma'am.
3 present.
3 present, ma'am.
Okay. 4,
4 present, ma'am.
5,
5 present, ma'am.
6,
6 present, ma'am.
7,
7%.
8,
8%, ma'am.
9,
9%, ma'am.
okay, 10,